She wasn't supposed to be home that night. Emily Carter, one of the youngest billionaires in New York, had taken an early flight back from her business trip. Her mansion stood quiet, lights dim, the long marble hallway glowing softly under the golden lamps. But as she stepped through the door, dragging her suitcase, she froze. Someone was inside. Her heart raced. She heard faint movement near the back corridor. She reached for her phone to call security, but before she could, a man stepped out of the shadows. It was Michael, the janitor who worked at her estate. His face was tight with fear, his hand trembling slightly as he raised it and whispered urgently, "Shut up. Don't say a word." Emily's mind spun. Why would her janitor tell her that? Was he trying to hurt her? But what happened next left her speechless. Hey everyone, welcome to Kindness Action, where we share real and inspiring stories that remind us how powerful a single act of kindness can be. If this story moves you, please hit that subscribe button, give it a like, and let us know your thoughts in the comments. Your support helps us spread more kindness around the world. Emily stood frozen as Michael slowly approached. He looked tense, but not angry. His eyes darted toward the far end of the hall, then back to her. "Please," he whispered again, "don't move." Her heart pounded in her chest. She thought about the panic button on her phone, but something about his voice made her hesitate. It wasn't threatening. It was desperate. Michael gently guided her backward, motioning for her to stay quiet. Then he turned his head toward the kitchen doorway and called softly, "You can come out now." Emily's confusion grew. And then, from the shadows, a little girl stepped out. She was no older than 6, barefoot, wearing a faded pink dress and clutching a small teddy bear. Emily's eyes widened. The girl looked scared and tired, her face pale, her eyes swollen from crying. Michael knelt down beside her, his big rough hands resting gently on her shoulders. "It's okay, honey," he murmured. "She's a friend." Emily was speechless. Michael looked up, tears welling in his eyes. "I'm sorry, Miss Carter," he said softly. "I know I shouldn't be here this late. But I didn't have anywhere else to take her. I just needed a safe place for the night." Emily slowly lowered her suitcase. "Who is she?" she whispered. "My daughter," he said. Michael explained everything. His ex-wife had passed away just a few months ago. He'd been working double shifts trying to afford their small apartment, but when the rent went up unexpectedly, he lost it. That night, he'd been cleaning Emily's mansion when the shelter he was staying at told him they had no more beds left. He panicked. He didn't know where to go. So, after everyone had left, he brought his daughter, Lily, to the only place he thought was safe, the mansion's staff quarters. He planned to stay just one night. "I didn't mean to hide it from you," he said, voice shaking. "I just wanted her to sleep in a warm bed for once. I swear, I was gonna leave before morning." Emily's chest tightened. The billionaire who had everything suddenly felt something she hadn't in a long time, empathy. She looked at the tiny girl holding the teddy bear, her blue eyes staring up with fear and exhaustion. Emily felt tears fill her own eyes. That night, instead of calling security, Emily made a choice that would change all of their lives. She knelt beside Lily and smiled softly. "Are you hungry, sweetheart?" Lily nodded shyly. Emily walked into the kitchen and started cooking. She hadn't done that in years. Within minutes, the smell of warm soup filled the air. Michael stood there, still uncertain, but Emily just smiled and said, "Sit down. Both of you." The three of them ate together quietly. It was awkward at first, but as the warmth of the food and the moment settled in, Michael began to relax. Emily asked about Lily's favorite games, and soon the little girl was giggling between spoonfuls. For the first time in months, Michael smiled too. The next morning, Emily told Michael to meet her in the living room. He expected to be fired. He had already packed his bag and apologized over and over. But when he walked in, Emily handed him a folder. Inside was a new apartment lease, with her name listed as the guarantor. Michael's eyes widened. "Miss Carter, I can't accept this." "You can," Emily said gently. "And you will. You've been working for me for almost 5 years. You've never missed a day. You take care of my home better than anyone else. Now it's my turn to take care of yours." Tears rolled down his face. "Why are you doing this?" Emily smiled softly because once, someone did the same for me. She told him how, years ago, when she was young and broke, she had been caught sleeping in her car outside a diner. The owner, a woman named Maria, had given her a job, a hot meal, and a second chance. Emily built her life from that kindness. I learned that day, Emily said quietly, that kindness is the only investment that never fails. Michael couldn't speak. He simply nodded, holding his daughter close. Months later, Michael still worked for Emily, but things were different now. Lily often came by after school to help water the garden. Emily had become almost like family. One evening, Emily found a small handmade card on her desk. It was drawn in crayon, with shaky little letters that said thank you for saving my daddy and me. It was signed with a heart and the name Lily. Emily sat there, holding the card, tears streaming down her face. She realized something profound: money could build houses, but kindness built homes. In a world that often feels cold and divided, kindness is still the language everyone understands. It costs nothing, but it can save a life, heal a heart, and change a future. So next time you get the chance, be that person who listens, who helps, who cares. Because you never know whose story might be rewritten by a single act of kindness. Thanks for watching Kindness Action. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe for more real stories that remind us. Kindness isn't weakness, it's the greatest strength we have.